This is lesson 5.2, rates and unit pricing in pre-algebra. And what we're going to look at first is the idea of rates. And whenever we compare two quantities that have different units, so let's say that we have 120 miles, that's 1 unit, miles, and our other unit is hours. And when we have miles and hours, those are different units. You can't convert miles to hours or hours to miles because one's a distance and one's a time, so they can't be changed around. But when they have different units, the ratio 120 to 3, to TO, this ratio then is called a rate. And that's what we're going to be looking at here is rates. So when I have a rate like 120 to 3, if I were to reduce that, I could divide this 120 by let's see, by 3. 120 divided by 3 is 40. And 3 divided by 3 is 1. So 40 miles per 1 hour, or 40 miles to 1 hour. So I can go 40 miles in 1 hour, or 40 miles per hour. And therefore, when I go 3 hours, I will have gone 120 miles. Or after I've gone 120 miles, it would have taken me 3 hours to do so. And this works real well when you're trying to figure out things like not only like speed and stuff, but how much money you're making per hour and all that kind of thing. So let's look at example 1. Train travels 125 miles in 2 hours. 125 miles in 2 hours. What is the train's rate in miles per hour? Okay, so what we're going to do in order to solve this is we need this bottom number, because it's in hours, we need it to change to 1 hour instead of 2. So how do we do that? Well, we divide this by 2, and it turns into a 1. Well, if we do that, then we also have to divide that by 2. So we end up with 1 hour on the bottom, and 125 divided by 2 is 62.5 miles. So that train in 1 hour goes 62.5 miles. In 2 hours, it goes 125 miles. So if we look at example 2, a car travels 90 miles on 5 gallons of gas. Give the ratio of miles to gallons as a rate in miles per gallon. So when it says per gallon, they're asking that number to turn into a 1. So how do I get 5 to turn into a 1? Well, I divide it by 5. But if I divide that by 5, I have to divide this top number 90 by 5. So this turns into 1 gallon per, and 90 divided by 5 is 18. So my answer then, if I can go 90 miles on 5 gallons, then I can go 18 miles on 1 gallon. So the gas mileage of that car is 18 miles per gallon. Now this next section in 5.2 has to do with unit pricing. One kind of rate that's very common is unit pricing. It's the ratio of a price to the quantity when the quantity is 1 unit. Meaning, like if I'm at the grocery store and I see that a 1 liter bottle of Coke is $1.99, that means it's $1.99 per, and this line right here also represents per when you're talking about unit pricing. When I say per, I'm talking about this kind of per. So $1.99 per 1 liter bottle. So when you're doing unit pricing, this bottom must always be a 1 because it's 1 unit. So if we have something that is $1.39 per 2 liters, then it's not in a unit price then, because this number 2 has to be changed to 1 in order for it to be a unit. So we're going to divide it by 2, and we're going to have to divide the top number by 2. So $1.39 divided by 2 is $0.695. So 69.5 cents, close to 70 cents per 1 liter, because that 2 over 2 is 1. And that's the way you compare prices when you're, let's say, at the grocery store. If I have a gallon of milk that is $3.59 per 1 gallon, and I can buy a quart of milk for $1.29. Oops, let me switch that around here so that I have my dollars on top. $1.29 per 1 quart, and I want to find out which one is the better deal. Well, right now I've got $3.59 per gallon, and here I have $1.29 per quart. That's not going to tell me how much money it's going to be as far as the best deal is concerned. So in order to find out the best deal, I'm going to have to do some fiddling around with the numbers that I've got. In fact, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to change either quarts to gallons or gallons to quarts. So, for example, I know that there are four quarts to 1 gallon. So I'm going to change this 1 gallon over here to 4 quarts, because that's the same as 1 gallon. Then it's similar to that. It's got the quart on the bottom. And again, it's $3.59. Now if I take $3.59 divided by 4, I will find out how much this milk is per quart, this amount here, and find out which one is the better deal. So $3.59 divided by 4 is I think it's 0.897. So 89 to 90 cents. Let's just make it 90 cents here, because 89 with a 7 there, that'll round it up to 90 cents. So that's 90 cents per quart. And up here, it's $1.29 per quart. So actually, the milk for $3.59 a gallon is cheaper than the quart. And another thing you could do is, if you wanted to change quarts to gallons, instead over here we change gallons to quarts. If you wanted to change quarts to gallons, just make this 4 and multiply that, or make 1 times 4 is 4 quarts, and that would give you a gallon. Then multiply $1.29 times 4, and you would end up with $5.16 per gallon compared to $3.59. So we can either change our gallons to quarts and put a 4 there, and then divide $3.59 divided by 4 to find out how much it is per quart. Or we can change quarts to gallons, so we'd multiply our quarts times 4, because that would be the same as 1 gallon, and then we multiply $1.29 times 4. So basically it would be like getting 4 of these, going to the checkout, and then doing $1.29 4 times, and you end up with $5.16 for that gallon of milk. So anyway, that's some ways to do 5.2, and so then this next video will be over some of the homework.